My guest is Mike Blake, who's the CEO of Pinewood Studios in Malaysia. I'm going to ask him about creativity in the film business, and I'm also going to see if I can get a role in the sequel to Skyfall to appear next to Daniel Craig. So that's a subplot to all of this that we'll be working on. Now, Mike, you've built over in Malaysia, in Iskandar in Malaysia, for the benefit of most people that may be watching this, they may not know where Iskandar is. So 45 minutes from Singapore. Where does the idea come from to build a Pinewood Studios in Johor Bahru or Iskandar?
This was driven by the government. They wanted to build something in the industry. They see the creative industries and the film industry as a future major industry for the country. So they did a lot of research into this, decided a film studio was the way to go to create a catalyst for the industry. Then they very smartly went out and contacted Pinewood to get a brand to it.
You've been touring the world, literally, selling the opportunity of Pinewood Studios.
There's a lot of interest. You know, one of the big things about this is it's economics driven. The industry around the world now, no matter where you go. The other offering, of course, is that the Malaysian government has just introduced a very attractive 30% incentive to attract film production there. So, you know, it's a very, very attractive incentive. It's probably the most attractive in the world. So that's driving a lot of interest in the facility. You know, the facility is a world standard facility to start with. So, you know, we're going out with that to start with. But it's very much about marketing Malaysia as a destination, Malaysia as a film-friendly destination, as well as the studios themselves.
If I talk a little bit about content, and that's because so many clients these days, as we see it, the clients we work with, content is the most crucial thing, and obviously that's particularly driven by social media.
The great thing about what we have today with the numbers of delivery platforms, of course, is that that content can get out to a wider audience. And there is the younger generation this day are used to receiving content on those sorts of platforms. Also, as a second part of that, of course, is it makes it easier to make content now. So kids can go out, and some very good films have been done, short films, using an iPhone or using a smartphone. So from that point of view, it has opened up the opportunities. The cost of creating content has come down to a certain degree now because of the digital age, but there is still a great desire from people to go to the movies. You know, there's a record this Thanksgiving in the US, record box office. Korea box office, record this year. So people still want to go out to the movies. But a way of interacting, of doing things, in terms of working in production, it's just a different business to when I first started.
Right. Let's take Skyfall, which has been so amazingly successful. So when everybody's thinking about content-wise what will go into Skyfall, and the marketing of Skyfall, what are the teams that get around that and the process that takes place, Mike?
It really comes from the beginning, from the writer and the producers, bringing the whole project together to life. You know, the writing is the key to everything, and it's the most difficult thing. You know, good scripts, to find good scripts is a hard, very hard thing to do. One of the things that you have to think about, and which a lot of people don't think about when they're writing scripts, is who's it for?
When you look at the global success that the great film centres around the world have, what is it that Asean needs to create a film industry?
What we see is the opportunity here that to create, in Europe they have what's known as the European Convention of Cinematographic Co-Production. So Europe becomes a community for filmmaking. So you can take a writer from Belgium, a DP from England, a cameraman from Italy, and they can all work together. Our goal is to try and create that within the ASEAN region.
What are the next big things in content that are coming through?
I think there's no major change. I think, as I've said, 3D will become more common, and especially for the bigger spectacles, you know, that are being done. You know, Mad Max, I think, is being done, the fourth one at the moment, in 3D in Namibia. So, you know, the avatars, you know, Cameron's doing another 2 avatars. So, you know, I think they're looking at Star Wars as being in 3D. You know, but other filmmakers will hold out for film. Chris Nolan will not shoot digital. You know, Batman is shot on film, and that's what he wants to shoot his films on. So there will be the old guard still there doing things, but there'll be people doing advances.
Mike, thank you so much for coming in and spending time with us, and thank you very much indeed for watching this.